So it's going to be a very wild week overall. We have a total of four speakers. We have consumer sentiment data on Friday as well. And it's going to be the last big week of Q1 earnings. Earnings are going to be over for big tech. We're going to get over earnings, and we're basically going to see the next catalyst come in. So now that we have discussed what the big events are for this week that are going to move the market, let's take a look at the key levels that we need to look at in order for us to really be ahead of the edge going into this week. We're going to analyze the S&P 500, what the market has been up to, and then once we have done that, we're going to talk about the stocks that are going to be beneficial within this move. During the consolidation over the last 5 weeks, market structure has been sideways as we ping pong from support at 403 to resistance at 415 here. Since we have been establishing resistance at 415, bulls have been rebounding strongly at established support of 403 here, 403.92, and now coming up to 415. So now that they're coming back up towards 415, what are we saying so far? We're saying that bulls tried to break 415 twice and they were unable to. However, bears were also unable to break the 403.92 support structure inside of this balanced range. And, so far there have been no winners. Price action is basically in equal forces within supply and demand, and you're going to get a major imbalance once price action has broken from this consolidation base. So let's just go back a little bit here. So bulls have been rebounding strongly at established support of 403 and now coming back up to 415. So what does that mean? If they break above 415.72 this time, we are going to see the next imbalance phase. And this is because once there is a break in either side, which in this case we would be breaking resistance, means the trend goes from supply and balance forces being balanced inside of the range to now out of balance with demand overwhelming supply at a defined resistance level of 415.72, and that would trigger the next imbalance rally higher. So anytime that you see a trending market, it's gonna follow up with consolidation sideways, or whatever you want to term this this phase in the market. And during this time, there are profit takers exchanging hands with new buyers and so forth. And this is what you're seeing. So unlike the previous rally right here, right? This is the previous rally. Unlike the previous rally, which started from mid-December towards mid-January, this time bulls did flush the bearish squeeze down, and that was all that they could do at the moment. So what am I talking about here? You guys see right here, this is when the flush really fired. So but this time, if you look at it, we are inside of the consolidation base, and the flush fully fired on the TTM squeeze here, and somehow price action held up significantly well. So that means that the bearish energy was fired to the downside, and price action held really, really well. So since bears basically fired the flush down, and that was all that they could do. Now, with bulls stepping in so strongly and reversing course at 403, they're now looking like they're going to retest 415.72 resistance next, and they're going to try to break out. So this is basically what's going on. We're looking at price action under very unbiased forms, perception, and we're trying to play price action the way it is. So yeah, now with bulls stepping in so strongly and reversing course at 403, they're going to try to retest 415.72 resistance next and try to break out. With the TTM squeeze now favoring bulls, showing the fuel is there, we can see 417.51 retested this week. And we will provide more updates on price action once we do get there. But for now, this is what we are interpreting from our price action based tools. Now that we know the fuel is there for the market to push higher going into this week, let's take a look at some potential movers for this upcoming weekly watch list. So, for some movers, we obviously know Apple is a major market mover, and Apple is trading inside of this consolidation. It had great success on its earnings, and if bulls do break or hold above 173.19 and break above 174.2, if you go on the daily chart, they're gonna try what they're gonna try and do next is what is known as a melt up operation. So they're gonna try and get above the 70% RSI and try to enter a melt up operation because they are breaking the downtrend here. So the momentum is there. So that's what I will be watching for Apple. I'm only going to watch Apple for overall market direction and the strength within the heavy market moving market weighted stock. So if Apple moves higher, that means the market can continue to go higher. So considering that Apple does have the potential to go higher because it just broke a downtrend, let's take a look at some stocks that I'm actually bullish at that I'm trying to play. So you guys know we talked about Tesla, right? We talked about Tesla. We mentioned how bullish we were on Tesla, and so far, this is the results. And I'm showing Tesla because we are still bullish on this stock on the bigger time frame, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm bullish on. But before we do that, I want to encourage you guys why you need to do your homework within the weekly watch list as well as the market analysis every single day and every single week, and check them out anytime that we have that we have posted new updates. So this is the Tesla. This is the Tesla trade that we called out on May 1st. We said that Tesla was showing a potential hold there. We will be looking for continued strength for a move back up above 170s. The reason I'm watching Tesla despite this very bearish sentiment post earnings is because of this very bullish inverse head and shoulder chart pattern formation, which basically is a trend changing pattern, saying that the stock went from making lower lows to now a final low and then a higher low structure. The higher low structures are characteristics only found in bullish market structures. So if this does place a higher low here at 150 in connection to the recent low at 104, then the next structure would be a higher high structure at 230. So you guys, I just want to encourage you and show you that we caught this imbalance move coming in way ahead before the stock even did that. And the reason why we did so is because we understood market structure, and that's what we try to teach you guys. If you spend time with us in the live session, we know so many price action based tools that we can teach you so that you can you can understand to basically trade the market. So in follow through with that, we said I will be buying Tesla 0818 to under 10 call at 450 area or cheaper. My stop loss is going to be set at 150. Once we break 150, I'm fully out of this trade and we'll go into observe mode, watching and observing price action. Would like to see if we can would like to see if we can pick up another contract next week, but stop loss will remain at 150 for both contracts. My profit target will be 180 first and then 220, and then above 220 we will be very happy for an ITM rally towards 230. So keep in mind that contract was called out on May 1st, and already that contract on Friday session was up over 30%, which is huge on a long-term contract that expires 100 days from now. So I really want to encourage you guys to pay attention to this stuff and really try to study this stuff because it's really going to help you catch some very strong researched setups that that we try to share with you guys. So that was a good setup. And now we go back to our Tesla analysis, and we're going to talk about our current Tesla analysis. So in perspective, we're looking at the daily chart here. So to go back, what were we talking about in terms of like the lows at the 100? This is what I was talking about. If the lows was 100 and 150 is a higher low structure with that bullish reversal, then now we should be making a higher high above this high here, all the way in the 260 area, and that's exactly what I'm trying to explain in that market analysis. So now that we did break out from this inverse head and shoulders that we so strongly talked about and said that could happen. We are looking at this very beautiful bullish daily trade setup. Tesla had a massive inverse head and shoulders breakout candle on Friday's session, as shown on this daily chart. We talked about this potential trend change last week before the massive move took place to get our traders aware of this low risk, high reward trade setup. Tesla above 170 from here will shoot up towards 180 and then 184 area to complete this bearish to bullish inverse head and shoulders trend changing breakout structure. Tesla price action is trending so extremely far away from its 200 SMA line. This makes it such a high probability trade to position for long term stock traders. We have discussed before investors, market makers, pensions, institutions all use the 200 SMA line to not only identify the top S&P 500 stock trends but also measure the oversold and overbought conditions within those trends. We anticipate more upside follow through on Tesla if this candle holds anywhere within the 50% retracement of the candle size. So, what do I mean by that? If this massive demand candle, this breakout candle, holds 50% of its body retracement at 167 area, even then I would still remain bullish for a move towards 184 gap fill right here, and then all the way towards 210 area if this level is held and price action begins to consolidate and try to digest this potential massive imbalance move that's on the way to happen towards 184. Tesla price action is trending so extremely far away from its 200 SMA line. This makes it such a high probability trade to position for long term stock traders. We have discussed before, as I said, when we are 200 far away from the 200 SMA line, we buy in because this is what investors do. This is what traders do with these high probability setups. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to buy far away, and our targets are going to be the 180 and the 184 area. Anytime that you see the Tesla is holding strength, pay attention to the stock because this is going to be the next massive rotation mover. You can see that volume has been coming in. Buyers have been coming in consecutively over the last couple of days, and we have a beautiful RSI that's showing a nice acceleration and just beautiful setup here. So the momentum is definitely there, team. The stock is big time oversold. So definitely keep your eyes out on Tesla. And another stock that I did want to talk about before we give this to Rogelio. So there are more stocks that I want to talk about, but now we're going to go to an earnings play as well so we can satisfy our earnings traders, gamblers, however we want to identify ourselves with. So looking at PayPal, right? I've been watching the stock for ever since last July. So PayPal over the last 12 months has been consolidating inside of this range here. um, by the way, team, I want to say for Tesla, however you want to take care of the move, however you want to trade the stock, I just want to give you the awareness that the move is there, all right? If you do have any questions regarding contracts or any of that, please feel free to ask because this is why we have this group. So PayPal over the last 12 months has been consolidating at the 70
Hello?
lows, which is its 2017 breakout. Now really trying hard
Yeah, yeah.
to turn into support here. So that level that was a previous breakout back in
19 minutes? Okay, can you give me a call again so
2017
I can call
here.
my mom?
Um,
Yep.
this level that was a breakout back in 2017 here, 2018 is now turning into potential support here. So as long as they hold above 70, this is considered a nice area to buy here. And we also have to account for this bullish trend line that the stock has been respecting in its stock existence ever since the IPO opened at $30. So as long as, and you can see this is why the stock has been holding this area for so long. It's basically so overbought. It is waiting for a catalyst. It is looking for a catalyst to basically get some corrective move back up and try to make a comeback. there's a good chance PayPal will show increased revenue from the recent Bitcoin rally as they are quite involved. With the stock refusing to make new lows, I think any news can have exhausted bears cover and trigger a short squeeze on PayPal. If the stock does rally on earnings, we can see it retest 99 before this year and possibly 105. So the reason why I say this is an exhausted bear situation is because bears have been trying to short the stock ever since last July. Ever since last May here. So over the last 12 months, the stock has been trading here, and they're going to easily short cover if the stock gets any catalyst to the upside. PayPal 1023, which is October 23rd, the 95 call, will be a good earnings play for a big jackpot lotto. If earnings fails, you get to lose 60% of the contract at most and call it a day. But if it works out, you can easily turn that into an 1,000% play because the stock can move as far as 123, and you would have all the time in the world for that contract and the strike to reach that and be delta positive. PayPal June 9 80 call is for more of our more of addicted traders that do short term, or not addicted earnings traders, or I shouldn't even say addicted because I shouldn't use that word. It would be a disrespect to those traders that trade earnings and do so well. I shouldn't call it a gamble. So I will say that for our earnings players, you can also go with the June 980 call, which is a monthly expiration at one point. It's currently at 2.0, but there's a good because it went up over 200% last week, or on Friday. It's a good chance that it can lose 50% and come back down to the 1.0, or even the 1.30 range would be really good to play that contract into tomorrow's earnings. So that contract could be a good earnings bet for a more in the money profit potential. You're basically giving up time on the expiration date, shortening it for a closer and much lower 80 call strike. If the stock price goes above 80 on earnings expectations beat, or does it on the following day, the contracts can gain significant value. We're going to keep an eye out on PayPal. Even if the stock doesn't do well, or even if our traders are not earnings players and they have discipline not to play earnings, what we can do is we can basically wait it out, and then we can just play the discount, or we can buy the dip after earnings. But I would say that the October contract, the October 23rd 95 call, would definitely be a good bet because, if anything, if earnings go sideways, you can also average down, and that could still work out in your way where the stock could get major upside. It's definitely in the area where it is due for a potential short squeeze, and even one like 120. I'm saying 120, right? Matter of fact, I'm telling us 95 will be retested, or 105, but realistically, even the 121 is an easy reach for short covering bears to get there. And I really believe 154 would even be the final target where PayPal can get to if it can get some imbalance move after this heavy consolidation here. Whether it could be a a, a, accumulation phase or distribution phase. We're going to be watching it. And yeah, this will be all for me, team. This is my 30-minute mark. And we're going to listen to Roger, and then I would like to hop back on after, and then share more stocks on our weekly analysis that we can trade this week. Please save your questions, team. Make sure you write them down in chat, the chat, or if you didn't know, right? If you go to our live trading session, there's a open chat right there. If you click on that, you can leave your chat there, and we will always get to your questions. I want to tell you guys that I really did beat myself up over the last few weeks because I wasn't aware of some of the questions there, but just to let you know, I am aware of it, and I will be watching. So yeah, that's all for me, everyone. I
No
will.
problem.
Sorry, Rogelio, all yours.
Oh no, thank you, buddy. Sorry, I was having issues with my internet. Consistently have issues here with the internet. Uh, yeah, that's why I wasn't, but I was listening the whole time. Good.
I see.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So, hello everyone. This is Rogelio Roger. They're at Discord. If you hear a little bit of background noise, I was trying to make some time to be alone, but I have my daughter with me. She's sleeping, and my wife is coming in a minute, so you may hear some background noise when she comes in. Um, well, welcome to all the new traders, all the new members that joined the Discord in the last few weeks. Uh, Very nice to have you here in our journey, my personal journey and Body's journey, trading. We've been doing it for a few years, and it's such a pleasure to be part of a team that we can share, really share. Because I've had other discords too, but Body is a person that I'm really proud to have joined as a team, and and help traders in a real way, and at the same time, even though we are profitable, help ourselves, because that also helps us in a way, I believe, to be able to see everyone grow with us together. So wanted to mention that and welcome everyone. Before I start sharing my screen right now, I'm not sharing my screen because I don't have it ready. Sorry about that. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the alerts that I send, and how the new traders, the intermediate traders, and the advanced traders, which we have a few of them too, how they can uh, benefit from them, how it can help them with their trading through the day. So it'd be easier for me to explain that, because there's different strategies that every trader, depending on their stage of trading, can use with my alerts. They go with a little bit more research than just a regular scalp. Although I do scalps by myself most of the time, some of the day trades that I do turn into scalps. That means that a scalp means basically that it can turn into a profit within a few minutes, 5, 10 minutes for scalpers, enough profit for a scalper to get in and out. And also a pullback, meaning it can pull back a few cents from where the maximum is if it goes there really quickly, back to the initial entrance, a suggestion price, and then the day trader, once they received it, if it takes them 5 minutes to get into it, they're still going to have a chance because of that. Um, my belief, and most, unless I specify otherwise, my belief is that the stock will continue higher through the day, but it is going to have pullbacks. So it is going to pull back, and if I am day trading, I'm going to not risk most of it, even though I still believe it can bounce at any moment. It may not happen that day; it may happen the next day, or so on and so on. So that's the reason why I always want to secure some sort of profit. Because that's my priority, to secure some sort of profit, half the profit, maybe at 25% if I reach that, or if you're a scalper, of course, quicker. But my day trades are, as my first message I send, they're meant for anyone who's not able to consistently, in a timely manner, pay attention to the play as it moves up, down, or sideways, to also exit at approximately 25% loss. If you're not, and if you do get stuck, some traders will, as they will tell you here, they'll know. If you ask us for help, we'll definitely help you, because we understand that you have a job too. So you're gonna get distracted and you're going to miss them. So we're gonna help you with that too. I'm gonna help you with that. But I strongly suggest to exit when I tell you, which is when I do it on that account that we're growing. And that's for traders that just don't have the time, or they're part time and their job is not, it's not accessible like that to look at their phones, because it does have to be in a timely manner. If you see profit, 25%, take it, and then move on to the next ones, because there's going to be plenty of alerts anyways. I want to also mention the difference between the alerts that we send. Body does very, very good high percentage winners on scalping, meaning you get your money really fast. And when it goes wrong, he still follows the play and plays other ones, which is how all of the profitable traders do. You play both directions while holding something. You don't panic on anything, but that takes practice, of course, quite a lot of practice. But I mean, that's how we end up, profitable, because since we understand in majority of the time, and we have a pretty good winning percentage when it comes to guessing direction, because that's what it is, of course, with technical analysis. Since you have a really good percentage, then you can always just hold on to something that you just wasn't able to sell or sold off on you. Anytime I see a sell off, I used to feel something if I ever miss something, but no more. That goes away within time. Eventually, it's just normal things happening, and you're just doing your business. You're running your business, which is what we're doing individually. I will say since it's your business, your main purpose on any business is to secure profit and lock it in and move on to the next job, and things like that. So that's kind of what options trading is. Uh, the day trade. So my entries, and I'm gonna be all over the place, and I apologize about that too. I do get a little bit off topic and bounce around things that just come. But the day trades alerts, the minimum price is not necessarily your exit price either. So when I put the suggested price, the maximum price, and the minimum price, that's the minimum price that I suggest buying it, because at that point it becomes a different risk level, in my opinion, of what it can do next. So even though it can get to the lower to that point, that doesn't, unless of course your strategy is different. This is just I'm explaining my own strategy and why I send it when I send it. If it hits the minimum price, that's the minimum price. So just buying it. If you're an experienced trader and you know your strategy and you see other things, you can do other things. But if you're following my trade, I want you to understand that the reason why I do that is because of that. The higher the risk, the less I want to enter the play. It has just it's a possibility that they could change trend at least for a short period of time momentarily, and that can take you to more losses. So why risk that when we can get it when it bounces again, or when we see another change in direction that's more strong of a confirmation? So sometimes I would do that, and rarely, I don't know how many, but very rarely there will be a total loss. But with a high percentage of win in that strategy, that one total loss is gonna seem almost like it never happened, because of the strategy of securing profit, in a higher percentage. By the way, my strategy, the strategy that I've practiced, I think I started using it a little bit over 3 years ago, can work also with a lower percentage winning rate. It's not just a hard, you can actually be profitable at around 40% winning rate, less than half. This 50-50. If you take profit at 25 and you exit at 25, so that's kind of even. Of course, you probably want to exit at 15, 20. But if you exit at 25, and then you also cut at 25, half percent, another half percent. So you're literally entering with 2 or 4 play options. Half at first, half another one, and then you leave the runner. Really, that runner is the one that's going to eventually even everything out. Leaving that, because you secured already, say around 35% all around of your initial investment by securing 25 and 50, right? Half and half. Around 35 is what you're securing all around for your initial investment, and now you're betting that this one you're leaving, which is also has made you're 50% already at that point, but it's only 1 out of 4. You counting on that tripling or quadrupling. So basically, that can help you, because that's going to double your 35 to 70, and so on, things like that, right? So, and sometimes they even go higher. But the point is that those runners are usually what's going to even you out. Those are necessary if you're going to have a lower percentage rate. So that's how you can actually still be profitable with a lower percentage rate winning rate. So it doesn't have to be, as high as others.
God, almost 10.
The
10.
swing plays are something that I haven't been putting too many. Initially, it started good, and still they're good with Amazon and Nike. We took profit a couple times on Amazon. Apple, a couple, I think 1 or 2 fails. I'm not sure. One we got out really early, so almost minimum losses. But once right now we have found a breakout and everything, we're going to look for an opportunity for a longer swing, and that's going to be a little bit more safer for people that want to hold something. But remember, the one of the things that you always want to keep in mind as a trader is to have funds available, which is the whole purpose of having 5 to 10% of your investments in a single position at most, especially if you're bigger, 1% or 2%, because opportunities can come at any moment, and no matter how much money you have on one stock with 125 options or whatever you have on that, if you have no other money available, if that goes wrong, that's your plan. Like, there goes that plan, and And if you have money available consistently to trade, you're always going to have opportunities. And if you miss opportunities, there's no way you can get the money back at that moment. So in stocks, even though the market does move in synchronized most of the time, you see some stocks moving 7%, 3%, 4%, and some moving half a percentage or things like that. So you're going to benefit more for the bigger movers, of course. So the day trades, that's how they're going to work. That's how they work. The swing trades. So my belief on the trade when I do a day trade is that it's going to continue, but it can always change direction to at any time. So that's why I try to. The purpose of day trading, by the way, is to make that income for the day, not to make that income for the week or the month, because that catches up. That's why oversizing, emotions take over when you're trading, for the reason that you may be putting too much money in a position that you're hoping that it has to work, kind of a deal. If you're gonna have it for income, having a big account or a bigger account or a big enough account to trade doesn't mean that you're gonna use all of it. Most of the time you're gonna use almost none of it. But it's to have it for when you are actually able to have an opportunity. So when opportunity comes in, that's when when you wanna have that money available and use a little bit of it, of course. But still, that's the main thing that always you want to keep in mind when sizing a position. The emotions come in play when you oversize it, when you put more than what you should be putting, because if you're going to be part of of the marathon kind of a thing, if you have to think longer term when it comes to trading. Things can be built really quickly, sure, but too many times I've seen people break their account, and I have broken so many accounts myself when starting over the years. 9 years I've been doing it. So it happens no matter how good you get. If you have no strategy of securing profit, no matter how much money you have, if you don't learn that side of it, it all can disappear very quickly, and it has for many of us. So that's the side that I'm always talking about. That's the side that I want everyone to come out of here knowing if they learn something, because Barry has definitely the technical side down, the training side, everything he teaches. And I can add to that, and I will add a little bit to that. But I like to have the mental, emotional side, the side of keeping your money in your pocket, actually being a business where it's profitable, and that's where I want to be able to help people, to know that that's possible. Actually, it's very, 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 very slim chances unless you work your way through them. But if you have someone like me that at least have been through most of those emotional, I think probably all of them, kind of like a rite of passage sort of a thing, that you go through waves, obsessions with technical analysis. I've been through that obsession, like day in, day out, no sleep. I still love it, but I don't spend almost not even near the amount of time I used to, because I've spent so many hours. I put my hours in there, my thousands of hours into that. Now I still want to learn more, and I continue because I like it and I love it. And now it's another process of helping people. Now that's a whole other good feeling of wanting to learn more and grow and things like that, because it's kind of like a different goal now. And so that's the things that the way that it helps me, and the way that I can help when it comes to trading and making trading an actual benefit to your income if you have a job. By the way, now that I say job, you can have an income with having your job, even if you're busy at your job, because having an income, even with when you're following somebody like me with their plays that I'm profitable, if you follow me for 2 months, you know already, you already know. If you just started, then you'll find out within the next few days or weeks and months, But even if you follow mine, your emotions are going to play, because it's your money and you're sizing it the way you're sizing it. And I don't know, how your emotional state is and things like that, but that's what's going to play with you, even though I'm following my own technical analysis, my own instinct, everything that I'm doing. I know that you have the person following my play has a whole different feeling and a whole different issues. And so that's I want you to know that that's understandable. And if you're aware of that, if I'm telling you that being aware of that will help you, I think it'll benefit you. Another way it can help you is by sizing. When you size a play correctly based on your standing, you don't even have to be looking at what you're making. You're not even looking at that. will help you a great deal because you won't see money going down, up and down, and things, and then eventually you get out when you just lost a little bit. You're like, oh, I got out of nothing. At least I didn't lose. But if you don't even look at it and you just wait for when I'm doing my own thing and I get up, then I promise you that it's gonna go good. It's gonna move on, and it's gonna be beneficial to you. Uh, but all depends on you sizing it correctly too, because no matter how many times someone seems to be winning, there's always two sides to everything, and eventually losing streaks do come. I'm not saying I'm not preparing myself for that because I always tell myself that they will not ever come, and I will continue to always have good plays. But the market, that's what it does. It's been doing it for a lot longer than I have, so it's going to catch me again, just like it has always. And that's when I just take a step back and I just basically, don't try to beat it. I just try to let it move on. And I mean, it's gonna be there in the next few hours. Gonna be there tomorrow. And if I don't see anything that I'm not gonna emotionally train just because I don't understand it. So that's one of the things that I can tell you. That's the reason why I preach it so much. When you start feeling like that you don't have any pressure of trading because you feel that way, it really helps you with your trading because you don't have those high ups and down emotions about I want to trade, I need this, or I need to do that. You're just cool and calm and waiting for your triggers that you've used thousands of times, and then there you go, going into it, and it seems they work out good. Okay, so I'm done with that. If you actually have any questions on that side, you can ask them. But for now, I'm gonna change to the technical side with the charts. I'm gonna share my screen in a little bit. And if you have any questions in regards to the options alerts that I missed, because I may have missed something, just you can let me know in the questions section. Right now, I'm just going to try to work this into sharing my screen. Let's see, maybe I am already. I don't even. Let's see, here it is. Let's see.
I'm very excited, Roger. There's some great setups setting up. I'm really, really
Yeah,
excited. I can't wait to.
your Tesla, that was a great call, man. I couldn't, I wasn't, I wouldn't be able to catch that one except how I learned it from you several times from Tesla. I mean, I thought I was pretty good with Tesla. I feel like I'm confident with Tesla. When I step away from Tesla, it's just because I don't know how to read it or it is something that I didn't understand. But when I get into Tesla, I have a pretty good winning rate. But you seem to catch it like in a really good spots. So yeah, I'm trying to learn what you're doing there. you know?
This this one was risky, Roger. I was literally shitting bricks because if 150 had broken, like you know how the selling pressure was gonna be on that one. So I was really, really, I was scared, and I was really hoping that they would hold 150 because only if they can hold 150, we would get. And I love the reaction that we got. That Friday close was very necessary for that potential trend structure setup. That's
Yeah, I
what
was able
bulls
to get
need.
a play out of that actually because of your. I mean, there were the similar sports that I had. Your support that you put. I think I picked up one that we picked up a little bit on around the 161 area. I believe I don't remember exactly. I think on Thursday, and we did get it to 163 when I exited. It went higher, of course, for those that hold, but we squeezed. I think a good 20%. I think out of that.
Yes,
That was a
sir.
good set. And I was going to continue probably. I see the same thing you're seeing actually when you mentioned that the support level. Let me just see if I can share my screen real
Yes,
quick.
sir.
Let's see. I think it's
Got another really great setup to add as well for our weekly watch list.
okay. Here we go. Let's see. It's coming up. How about it?
Yes, sir. I'm watching your screen for now, and the reason why I took off my screen and I'm watching yours is because I do want our viewers on YouTube or our viewers on here that end up watching it on YouTube as a recap because they missed it, or if they want to watch it for educational purposes, they can also see your screen, and that's why I'm wanting to make sure that I do.
That. So I want to thank you for mentioning that, buddy, because I want to mention that this is E Trade. Power E-Trade is what I use, and it's the mobile version. I'm a little bit of a jittery guy. I walk, aside from the ADD, I basically walk, can stand still, not my nature. So as I'm walking, I'm
By
talking.
the way, Rohel, your notifications will be popping up on the screen, so you may want to mute that. Just want to
Oh,
give
okay.
you a heads up. By the way, I just want to say that I love how your phone setup looks. It's really really nice. I mean, the candles are beautiful. Like just by watching. Oh, okay, never mind. Team, I told you guys I had a good setup. Looks like Rogelio has got it already. So, we're
Yeah,
both
looks
on
like
sync on
I mean,
this one.
that's for Amazon though. I think it was Tesla. Let me see.
Oof, it has such a beautiful setup on Amazon, Roger. I cannot wait to share my view on it as well.
Okay, nice. Let me see. Oops, sorry. I'm getting those things that you mentioned. Okay, here it is. So yeah, I see your. There it is.
Wow,
So I
look at
think
that chart, dude. I love the way your chart looks on
look at
mobile.
that.
Like
So
even though you're using mobile, it's really nice.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you said you want the one. What is it? The 116, the 170 to hold? Yeah.
Yes, sir. So
Yep.
170 will be a continuation. If we can get, if so, here's how I'm viewing Tesla going into this week, and I have the written analysis as well that I will share with our members in the weekly watch list. But what we want to see, right? If if it decides to kind of sell off, we want to see that massive demand candle hold 50% pullback retracement. If we can hold the 50% pullback retracement, we know that buyers are going to come in very, very strong and they'll take it up higher. Now, for confirmation, above 170 or like at 171.01, that's confirmation that Tesla is going to get some serious demand on the buy side towards the high the mid 170s. So, yeah,
Yeah,
that's what we will be watching on Tesla.
you're right. Definitely. I think if it does break that 170, it can pull back to the 167. It may be the 167.50 as a tap. And if it just taps it and bounces off of that really strong, wait a couple of 5 minute candles for confirmation, you know, and then of course watch your MAC crossovers, make sure that those are not negative still. Sometimes it may take a little longer than that. It could probably bounce back again. And if it breaks the 170 again, you can do a sculptor real quick. If it breaks the 170 and like Body said, 171, continue up, retest it. It sounds faster when we say it than it actually going to happen. Although with Tesla, you never know; it could just break out really fast, even overnight. But yeah, I agree with what the body was saying on those levels. And then here's the daily. Look at the daily is about to do a crossover on the Mac. As you pointed out, the RSI is over the 45. It's strong. And if it breaks, there's the 170. I believe it's going to be about the 171.50 when, like Body pointed out. To me, that's the 120, and I believe even the 200 is there. Oh yeah, the 120 is there. The 20 and the 120, which I use a lot. By the way, my all of those lines that you see there, they're the 5 moving averages: 5, 10, 20, 30, 50, 80, 120, and 200. So I can send them on I think actually they're on announcements on my strategy. Those are the moving averages that I use in all the time frames, with including the volume, the RSI, the MAC, and the ADX, in all time frames. Um, if to follow strength. The charting side of it, I do it on regular E-Trade. I mentioned this in the very first meeting we had a few months ago. I personally now use technical the charting of it for illustration purposes, sort of a thing. I really like it. But for trading, I don't. But I do want to point out that it's extremely important to learn that side of it. But once you learn of it, it gives you direction and you know what patterns are playing out. Head and shoulders and things like that, resistance, support levels. But most of the time, all of those sort of match up very good with your moving averages. All of those resistance support levels, it has some way of working their way around to where they match up, a lot of times almost perfectly, but very, very close with the moving averages. So when it comes to resistance support levels and trends, as a matter of fact. So That's why I don't use it as much. And I am apologize for not sharing as many charts. I am going to start sharing more. I have done many of them. Problem that I've been having is an update that I had on my system recently, and it has changed the way I do setup, and it's very time consuming now for some reason. So I do have them, but the thing is that when I do one, I cannot change it, so it lays over an older one, and lays over different times frames, and that it makes it look really messy. So that's why no excuse, but I want to work on that more. Okay, Batty, you were talking about Amazon. Let me see, Amazon. We'll be holding that, and some people got into it again too. We are only holding a runner, but we're definitely about to enter another play into another swing. This will be our
Yes,
third
sir.
swing at Amazon. And you called that from like I believe when bounce right down 90, didn't you?
We want to get in on this one, Rogelio. We wanna get in on some. We already got in on some long terms. Let's try to get in on some short terms and try to ride the momentum higher because this is this is very clearly a trend change structure, in my opinion, especially with the way the stock is holding the momentum going. Post earnings.
Yes. Boosterns for sure. And then here, the next resistance, almost the last resistance, is the 50 major resistance, right above pretty much most of my moving averages right there. And that just means the squeeze is coming at. And that's what we said around here when it squeezed, that it was supposed to move somewhere around here. But we took profit our second, or I believe our third time, and our last time I think it was. Very nice. This next move should be to the over the 110, to the 115, 120. Uh, Definitely. Oh, this is the weekly I was looking at. There's the daily. The daily, we have our 105 short support, 105.60. So 105.50. If that can hold, we can continue early. Our lower support will be the 103.5, 103.50, that area right there from the previous day, and where our 20 moving average sits. But it definitely has strong change momentum here over those confirmation candles, the doji candles right there, and then the green closing one. That's a good sign. And then here, actually, this right here, I would like it to cross over that 107, 107.50, and then confirm that to the 111, and then a pullback there. For me, I would like that, just strategy wise. So I know that is is going to continue breakout. At that point, as a matter of fact, also what it could do is just hang around there for a little bit, just so it could start chopping people there. But I think I'll keep this one in my watch list because we're going to play it a couple of times. As I said, a good price, and we can get a good place out of that. Body went over SPI also. Uh, SPI, man, is so I think this qualifies for a breakout. And we thought, of course, that's what we thought here earlier in February. But this, if you guys have seen my name and my picture on my on my name on the Discord, you'll notice that my picture is the bullish engulfing. I'm very proud of that one because the reason why I have that one, that's one of my best setups, is because I caught that one right here back in October 12th, and look where we're at from there, all the way there, from 164, 365 to 4, whatever, a couple of times. Of course, I've got in and out, but that was the bullish engulfing right here. It changed everything. The bottom, right there, or at least that bottom. Maybe we can touch it again someday. Here it is. And then our setup here, our bounce over every moving average again. Definitely going to be volatile, but we look very bullish currently. And it could take off fast just to kind of make everyone, or most traders that are in positions, depending on what side they're in, to panic a little bit, which is what it's supposed to do. Then we have the weekly. I mean, the last week close with a hammer. Yes, it's a hammer. You don't want to see hammers at the top of the trends, right? But is this at the top of the trend? Some will say it may even be the bottom of the trend here, because the top
Um,
of the trend was way back. Huh? Go ahead.
Rogelio, actually, this is what I was going to talk about. I have an hourly chart on SPY as well that I wanted to talk about, and what I forgot to talk about on the daily chart that I was showing on SPY was that double bottom that you were looking at. That double bottom could get a nice consolidation. If it gets a nice consolidation this week from like the
Yeah,
410
and
to
we
413
have the
area, and it breaks above 415, which is also the candle highs there,
yeah.
there's a great chance this thing can rocket higher towards 422.
Yes. Oh yes. I mean, look. The reason why that's a great possibility is because look at the previous candles. That can definitely happen here. It's last six trading four, seven, 8 trading days of pretty extended candles. So that means that it can do another one and even a really big one. It'll be a good time if we get some profit on a day trade, and then if we have a pullback to play some lotto, trades if you want to play one of some of those with a little bit of money, little bit of money, because it's basically buying a ticket. But the winning can be really good too. We can get a good breakout there. I think if it does pull back and it holds the 410 or even the 409.50 like really fast, because of the volatility that can always happen for traders that don't follow it that fast, you don't have to panic a lot. I will be continue doing updates through the day tomorrow on trend and what I think it may happen, guesses, of what I'm looking at. Uh, so yeah, we'll always keep you informed on that. Another one that we were looking at was, oh, Apple. Wow. I did that opposite lot. We have a hedge that we're holding with Apple right now currently. Looks like it broke over if we have a pullback, we probably get out of that hedge uh, play, hopefully at even, if it does have a retest of the 5 here. But if not, I can hold it until it is a long play. So if you're an end, not a big position. Hopefully you don't have a big position either. Uh, but we can still hold it as that because it's gonna have to eventually do a retest. But we'll be following day by day. Meanwhile, we can just day trade it. Body's gonna be following it for trend, so I'll probably be looking at it too for trend to see how the market can react to that, because it follows what Apple. Well, no, it doesn't follow, but it's a very strong influence. And knowing that both Apple and Tesla are a strong influence, and they can break out, and that can happen before then we know that it can continue. Market can continue higher. Let's see. GE, it's actually a play that I like. Also for a breakout, I'm gonna be looking at it this week. We had a few plays. One that we were able to save. That went the wrong. That's a good play that we saved for those that know or don't know that we actually do have losing trades sometimes. And when that happens, for this one for instance, I didn't send a sell signal. I didn't sell a stop sign signal either. It did drop, and people started asking questions. So I follow up on what I was doing, which was holding. Eventually, we averaged down and saw what we averaged down, and we saved it somehow. Same thing with AMD, Amazon, I believe. And like I said, again, my strategy will be on announcements, so you can go ahead and read it there and try practice that. Because it is a little bit complicated. So what we want here from GE though is for it to show some strength over the 102.50. We wanted to break out of there and at least hold the 100 when it opens on Monday. If it pulled back to the 99, then that could be an opportunity. If it just bounces really quickly and we wait a few 5-minute candles for a breakout up, that could be a good. I can send a signal if I'm looking at it and I feel confident for that. GE, Amazon, by Nike, SPI, VIX. We have also one the reholding after we took profit on that one and did a pullback. Also kind of a hedge play. I think we will be able to get out of it a little bit, but I still want to watch it. I'm going to hold that. It's 2 weeks out. 2 weeks out expiration, and I see something happening here. I think the volatility is going to just make that, which is also going to make. That's what I mean by SPI or some other, was like SPI, make just a quick pullback, and then reverse. But that can give us a chance to sell this, and then get into a different location play if we're going to use it as a hedge or as a play for a longer term, because the volatility and this too can pay out if you hold it long enough, if you go out long enough. The only thing is that the prices are just not that good, for the price. It just doesn't seem like you get a good bang for your buck on this one, but it's good as a protection for sudden moves, for people that don't, or for traders that don't have the time to follow it completely, as a specific stock while following others. That's good, because all of a sudden you get stuck somewhere else, you forgot it. You look at this, oh, this is at 100%. So no wonder my losses weren't as big, so it minimizes that. Let's see if I had any questions in regards to the alerts. I have been checking the messages. For anybody that has any questions on how the alerts work. Let's see, here it is. But do you recommend staying away from? Oh, staying away from Robinhood. Well, I don't. I didn't use Robinhood for quite a long time. I started a little bit when they opened, and then I didn't like it, and then it just like so easy for people to look at. I mean, any other stuff aside, if you don't want to use it, don't. Any other reasons why? For now, it's just convenience for me. It's whether it's that's all. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I use. E-Trade and Power E-Trade. I mean, I also use Thinkorswim. I never posted anything like that there. Fidelity, in other words, the regular Fidelity also. So, but any trading platform that allows you to trade cash, which is what I suggest doing, a cash account, will be good. Well, the reason why we want to let it grow before you start taking money out, if you're taking money out, and if you follow my plays, like specifically the ones that I play myself, or if you copy my trades, is because I want to have that money available when another when a possibility comes, when a chance, opportunity comes for a setup. So that's the only reason, as I mentioned before, not because you're going to use all of your money, just to be ready, because that's one of the reasons why you may not make enough money or have the income. So after that point, after you get to that point where you feel comfortable playing and you see how your winnings are, and that's the income that you want, then you can leave it there. We're gonna keep going with this account. I don't think I'm gonna take any out on the account. I'm just gonna let it grow to see how it grows, and just keep watching it, following it, and take it to the 100. Hopefully by, I don't know how long it could take, but I believe with a bigger account it takes a year, but with a smaller account, we'll see. It could take by the end of this year possibly. I don't know. I don't see why not. So that would be awesome. Good for everyone, for me. Let's see. What else? Questions here. Okay, the challenge. How does the challenge work? Okay, so basically the challenge, because this is basically for entertainment, so as you guys know, the way that it works is basically you're following what I'm doing with my own plays. I'm sending you what I'm doing with my own plays. If I'm buying it, I'm getting out. I'm using my own actual real money. So it's based on my technical analysis and how I make income with it. So when you hear it in and out, you see, hey, Roger bought this. I'm saying buy this. This is that. This is how much. This is what I will buy the most, and this is what I will buy the most, and this is what I pay. Like the regular price. Then you join it and you wait and follow instructions after that. That's what I mean by actually having access to the computer or to the phone in a timely manner. You don't have to be looking at it consistently, but you do have to pay attention to the alerts, because you set your alerts on your Discord on how you want to get the alerts. So you can actually go into the actual page, click on the settings, and do a little bit of research there. If you've never done this before for brand new traders, don't feel the FOMO. Don't feel like the opportunity is going to go away, because it's not. It's not going to go away. Opportunity are everywhere in the market at any day, volatility high, volatility low, any time of the season, sell off, buyouts, they're always there. So there's no need to panic. Just stay healthy and alive. And trust me, you when you get the chance, when you know a little bit of the basics of how to get in there with navigating through the Discord, pick up the calls that you want, on day trade. But to reiterate, Body does a lot of fast moves, so you want to always keep that in mind. You want to get in and out if he does that, because I noticed that he makes really fast, good money on really fast moves. So you don't want to get stuck in there. Just for the new traders that have joined in, he's stock option trader on there. His name is Body, for the new people that have joined. So he plays a very fast, very profitable. He does also day trades, of course, and when he's missing on something, he'll let you know if he gets in or out. Uh, and he'll help you to get out of it too if he's in. So if you're gonna follow him, also follow strictly what he does, but he'll do instructions. I'm Roger in there, so my trades are a little different. Might have the in and out, minimum higher entry, and basically with a little bit of instructions. Sometimes some follow-ups too. So follow-ups I do on options chat. There's chat rooms, by the way. That's where we can also, for traders that have a chance to be looking at that, more of a traders that can have time, you can ask questions there. Ask me anything, follow-ups on what are you thinking now. It doesn't bother me at all. I know I'm training people and people are learning. So go ahead and ask me if I don't answer sometimes, because I'm always doing my own things too. But I want to answer everyone, and so I'm glad to do it. Do you always buy at least two coins? Yes, actually. Depending on the size, the 1K account, we started at 10% 5 weeks ago. So I was buying 10%, because most of them were $1 or 1.5 or 50. They're now buying two. But we're buying a lot of ones. As a matter of fact, we just recently bought the Tesla, which was 250, around 10%, 9% of the account size. So yes, buy one sometimes, because opportunities are always going to be there. All I want, this is the mentality. See, that's what I mean, that I always focus on. The mentality is to grow the account slowly, but with risk management, not with risk. The management part has to be there. So that's the reason. Can I grow it really faster because of my winning percentage? Yes. I think if I just went with most the way I want, I'd probably be 20,000 by now. But that's not how I want to grow it. That's not what I want to teach. The whole point of it is not how much I can make, because I can have really big wins and then those wins are going to turn into really big losses. So that's the whole point that I want to always emphasize. It's the marathon mentality. It was something that I learned from a really person that I admire a lot. His name is Antwan, and some of them you might know him, but I definitely want to give a shout out to that guy. He's a great guy, and we actually live in a very close neighborhood to each other, which is funny because Bali lives also close, not in the neighborhood, but in the same state at least, but it's close by within a few minutes, me and Bali with a few hours. But anyways, and we just met each other on the internet. What are the odds of that? Because people from all over the world. So marathon mentality is what matters. Going the long term, the learning process. That's the freedom of it. You don't have to trade as much as all day. Also, by the way, keeping that income coming in, if that's what you want first, and take your time in learning. You don't have to continue to trade all day. A lot of people do trade all day. I wasn't used to trading all day. Now I'm getting a little more used to it, because as you probably know, I not probably know, but couldn't think, why would I? I need this a few hours. I have a business too. Also, I also have a business that I do, that I have to sometimes take care of it, and and I want to have my whole purpose of trading and learning all of this, because I wanted to have income and have the freedom to do pretty much anything I wanted to. Priorities do change, of course. So have a little more other motivations now. But so taking some time off, being obsessed is really good. You have to be obsessed with this and really like it to become good at it. Spending time in there, FaceTime on the screen is what's going to get you there. Any strategy, really. Following someone that already has two people that already have it, man, that's a deal right there. That's time saving, lifetime saving. But that's all you need. Time in there, patience, a lot of patience, really. Practice. If my strategy, the reason why it works for lower percentage swings because I did it a long time ago and I have improved from 3 years from now. You know, people that know me from 2 years ago, they know I'm better now than I was 2 years ago and 1 year ago, and it will continue to get better because that's my passion of it. For me personally, I just like it. So why would I not want to get better? You know, just because I like it. The better you get, the more, the better it feels. You know, it just feels better to continuously improve and learn. It's true false. What is the indicator that says true false? False. Oh, let's see. RSI, MACD, ADX, and volume are the indicators. I'll share from Investopedia, by the way. That's my Bible. That's where I know it's like a dictionary, but that's where you learn everything really for free. And then it has links there too for other sites that are also free that you can search around. But I have several links on what this means, and just me explaining to you. Yes, they'll help you, but practicing is what's going to help you understand it. Like I said, but RSI, you know, measures the strength. The relative strength, that's really what it stands for. MAC, you already know basically what we're looking for the macro is a crossover, you know, the turn between the white and the red candles to either direction in different time frames. ADX is your trend strength. Also, you kind of got to study that one because it looks kind of weird and it looks different for everybody. But it's kind of like the TTM, which body uses. Is basically kind of the same thing, it's different names. You can perfect either one of those. And then the volume, which could be sideways, it doesn't even have to be here. So matter of fact, a lot of times I just take it off and I leave it on the side for space, but that's the volume. And then the moving averages and a lot of thousands of hours on screen time, watching it. And that's where I say where the experience comes in hand, you know, when you're looking at something, because if you've seen it so many times, you're going to guess slightly better than someone who hasn't seen it as many times as you have. And that's where, you know, all the winnings come from. That's how you notice that me and Bali's winning percentage is really high because of that, because we have that slight experience, which a lot of people in here have it too, by the way, you know. But it's just like any other business. If you practice it a lot, the more you practice, the better you become at it. You know, people start calling you an expert on it because, you know, you pretty much are. You just repeat it over and over, you know, the job at hand. And that's what happened with me with this basically. And I'm a true believer that anyone with any indicator, if they really get into it and they go through the losses and they go through the pain and all of that, they'll also become profitable and really good at it. I'm a true believer of that. That's not just me saying it, because I've met others that are pretty good at it, and I really want to meet as many good traders, the best that I can, and that's not as easy as it sounds. But that's my purpose always to try to find and meet, to learn from them, really, you know, more. Yeah, always. What is the indicator? What app is that? So the app is E-Trade, and this one is Power E-Trade, the app that I'm using. I use my computer screen a lot, but mostly I like to move around a lot. So I got used, and when I was doing my obsession with trading, I doing it on the tablet because I was working. So I just got used to it. So I also like to use it half the time to walk around and move around the mobile app. It's pretty convenient, actually. You can be doing errands and trading, which I do a lot, actually, believe it or not, when I'm setting signals. So I just pick at it sometimes, like, that looks interesting. Let me see that all of those lined up, and let me go ahead and send the signal. And then I look at the options, I get in, boom, boom. Let me get in that, and then I look at it for a few more seconds and send you the signal, and you're in with me, you know. Combinations of a core combination was kind of hard to find. Okay. I would think that probably Badi could explain the Greeks better than me. I mean, I have a good understanding of the Greeks. That's how I do my calculations when it comes to a profit. But really, the main ones that you want to, I'm going to share a link for that too, but the main ones that you want to care about the most are the theta and the delta, delta and theta, which is the up and down. The delta, if you multiply that by the dollar, it's the simplest way to do it. It'll get you basically what your stock is going to move relative to the price that you have. So sort of a thing like that. So if it moves $1 and it's a 45 theta, then you're going to move 45 on a dollar move. And, you know, that's a simple way of calculating what your profit is going to be. So if you pay two, you say, let's just use round numbers, two, your theta is 45, moves $1, 245, then there you are. That's your profit. So that's kind of how the simple way, but there's more to that. Way more to that. But delta, theta, is your indicators that I mostly look at. The other ones change consistently. They're important to understand them also. But if I can explain them simply, it's because I probably don't understand them completely to explain them. So that's why I'm not going to try. But yeah, because you have to be able to explain something simple in order if you really understand it. And I don't. Let's see. Can either explain? Yes. So I'm just looking to see any more questions. Somebody's writing. By the way, oh, AMD, that was one of our big winners. So this one was a nice play. I missed it on Friday. I saw that I had momentum. I didn't play it with you guys, but when we got this right here, that catalyst was so nice, so satisfying. Even though we had sold half, so if you can, just watch back the indicators how they were when I entered that play. I didn't know it was gonna do that. Of course, it did it. I'm gonna sit here and tell you, oh, I knew it was gonna break out that hard. I knew it had an up trend, up momentum. I just didn't think those news was gonna come out, which was the catalyst, and that's what made it break over that. See, and so this is how I would suggest people that want to learn just by visual, which is how I learned. That's why it took me so long, though, because most people that I follow they didn't have that good of a percentage rate winning, so it's a little harder. It takes a little more time, but you can learn from anybody, no matter how much they win or lose. But if they lose a lot more, it's a little harder, more time consuming. 2 meters. Yep, here, and I suggest you sell at 300, which is right when it hit or right above the resistance right here, 200. Although it confirmed again and continue, and then I believe that's where right here it bounced, and where it bounced was on our previous 200. You see, that would have been a point of interest for us. And then it did the three candles right there, three white soldiers, with everything looking positive. Even the overextended RSI, that didn't matter because it had up momentum. So those three white soldiers right there, that would have been our entry here, and then we would have watched here basically the 200 again for a pullback, the most. And it didn't. It never did. But it kept going there, and then it just continued because that was the play here on the 10-minute. So it was a 10-minute. So depending on the time frame you're looking at, that's how much of a breakout you're looking at too. So if you're looking at a higher time frame, it's going to take that much higher. If you're looking at a weekly setup, it could take you several months, not weekly. It could take you several months for it to play. If you're looking at a month, it could take you several months to play, if not years.
She just has her long sleeve. She has salsa and table.
Okay. And so for the next play on AMD, there we go. So we're looking for it to hold the 87. It already has a crossover on the 5 and 10. We just need a macro crossover. That would just be another confirmation, but it has very strong candles. So that's, and it just needs to break a little higher, of course, 92 probably, and then retest it. But that would be a nice play there if you can go several weeks out. This is a little risky still, but it shows very good potential. But when I say risky, it's just everybody has different risk levels. I'm just always explaining my risk level for what I have, played throughout my whole trading. So, and those are different from others. Okay, well, I think that's it. I don't have much more to say. I think Body, if he's listening or when he has a chance.
Yes, sir.
Body, yeah, Amazon. I went through all of them that I think that I needed to go through for now.
By the way, Royalio, I just want to say you pretty much went over all of the stocks that I'm also looking at. I'm looking at Tesla, Amazon, Amazon, AMD. So
Oh.
Oh, and
Awesome.
there's Netflix too, but after reviewing Netflix, I decided it is a 50-50 on it, but at the same time, what I am actually waiting for is the break within that. So as soon as we get a break within that, we're going to catch some nice moves. But yeah, I'm gonna go over the same stuff here. I'm ready to share my charts. I'm
Awesome.
honestly very, very, like, honestly, like, super, super, super excited because there are so many opportunities coming up. And I think if there was a time where I would call it the golden time to make money, it's probably right now. And the reason why I say that is because, first of all, you got tech that's so high up there, right? And then at the same time, because tech is going to try to burn its shorts before coming back down, right? Because it's going to try and do that, try and kind of hold up a little bit. It's going to push other stocks up that are kind of on the downside. Um, and this is why I call the golden opportunity because first of all, you can catch those low risk stocks that are on the lower end that are showing very, very great setups. They're known as what is called a bottom feeders. So these are the bottom feeders, and then um, sometimes you see them really, really make massive, massive delayed moves back up after the stocks have already moved. So we're gonna look at some of those stocks that have those potentials. Um, and then after that, we're gonna go look back at the things that I forgot to mention about the S&P 500 SPY direction, so that we can also know the overall market direction. Um, I love and second everything Rogelio said, and I'm really looking forward to this week.
Very pump.
All right, team. So for Amazon, right? Here's what I'm watching for Amazon. So based on my interpretation of Amazon, we have been seeing. You can see the stock was in a downtrend, right? The stock from 188 went all the way down to $80. So it went down over $108 from its all-time highs. That's about. I mean, oh my gosh, that's a huge shit. So um, and that has happened consecutively throughout the split and throughout the buyback and all that stuff. So what do we have here? We had Amazon downtrending for more than 2 years, right? Or not more than 2 years, but over a year and a half.
Your
And
screen is
then,
not showing, buddy. Sorry.
oh, thank you, sir. Good reminder. um All right, we're gonna do, yeah, screen one. All right. Okay, there we go. So Amazon here. Amazon was in a downtrend for over the last, I would say, a year and a half. The stock didn't see any highs, and it just kept making lower lows and lower lows and lower lows. Finally, we bottomed out at this demand zone at 80, which goes all the way back to 2019 lows. So we held 2019 support. We got nice demand reaction where the candles went from big red candles to now you had big green candles and smaller red candles, right? Now that you have big green candles and smaller red candles, if we zoom in, what is going on here? What we have here, this chart pattern formation here is known as this type of triangle. It is known as the bullish ascending formation triangle. So the ascending triangle is a bullish trend continuation that forms. Um, um, where were we? I kind of zoomed in a little bit. Okay, so it is the chart pattern can be so it is a bullish continuation that forms during an uptrend, and that's what we have here. So I mean, okay, you can't really say it is. It actually can be a bottoming structure, and it can happen as a continuation to an uptrend, which we will talk about in these other ones. But the point of this structure is, right. You want to catch them during uptrends because they're stronger, and realistically basically, if you back off of the structure, overall the S&P, overall Amazon is in an uptrend structure, so it does count as an uptrend. But what we want to talk about is this particular trend structure over the last couple of over the last 2 years. So what we have here is a bullish ascending formation. Recognizing the pattern is easily distinguishable due to its very unique rising lower trend line. So what do you have here? You have a rising higher low structure. Okay. Um, so since you have a lot rising lower trend line, this trend line, this is the upper trend line, right? This right here is the floor. So this is the rising support trend line. And what this is telling you is that with each bounce that the stock is getting, there is a higher need for the stock at that higher price. Investors, market participants in general are buying it at a higher price. They're buying the dips at a higher price than the previous dip. That's what the chart pattern is telling us. However, the actual real move happens once we break the ceiling. I called it a floor earlier, and I'm sorry, it should be a ceiling. Once we break the ceiling and turn it into a floor, that's when we actually get the breakout. Here's another example of it with the 200 SMA line. And now we're going to go talk about it. So what are you actually seeing, right? You're actually first the formation of the bullish ascending. You're seeing an uptrend rally take place, which is this trend right here. This is why we call the rally, because there's a higher need. Okay. So in market structure, right? Higher lows, which is these are known as higher lows. Each this low is higher than this one. It's known as a higher low, higher low. We have a consolidation base forming, and the consolidation base is basically this consolidation here. However, the unique feature about this chart pattern is that it's not sideways, it's going up while it's still consolidating and cooling off here. And what this is telling us is that um, you know the bullish momentum continues to increase until you're finally above the resistance. And once you're above the resistance and price action forms, you guys see that bullish hammer right there? You guys see that bullish hammer? Once you see like candles like that, it's a clear indication that price action is holding above that and that buyers can come in next. So let's go back to Amazon here. What are we seeing on Amazon? That's what we are seeing with Amazon. This was a major resistance level here ever since the bottoming structure from 103 area. So we rejected here. Actually, this was when we established it. That's when we kind of rejected, but we still had a failed breakout. We fell back down again, then established support. And I swear to God, I remember telling us, I was like, you guys, we're going to expect a retest at the rising trend line so that we can get an established uptrend. You can't just get a massive run up like that. And because what's really healthy is when you get a massive parabolic move like that, you should expect it to come down in a very, very parabolic form. What goes up will come down. This is this law is written all over a universe. Always expect to get them cheaper. Don't feel like it's gonna just go up forever and ever. So once it came down here, it placed a rising a higher low structure. This is when we got confident that Amazon is going to go back up and so forth. So now that we finally broke the resistance line structure and turned it into support at 103.50, and that's what I kept emphasizing on last week. What we can anticipate next is a break above 105 can send the stock back up above 110 and then towards 113 and then finally 120. This formation should send the stock all the way up to at least 123, which would complete the formation because the breakout length should be the same as the formation from the bottom of the base to the resistance of the base, like just this right here, what I'm showing you guys. That's how you usually you will basically measure the length of the breakout moves. So let's take a look at Amazon on the 4-hour time frame. What are we seeing here? Oh, this is AMD. This is the next stock that I want to talk about. So let's go to
Hey,
Amazon on
Patty.
the. Yes, sir.
This is Mike. Also, Amazon had a 10-for-1 split. That may factor in, and then this is what I'm noticing in a lot of stocks is they're doing these splits to get their stock to like 100, and then I've had several stocks that they did a split and made the stock like 100. And from there, it's progressed downward. Like Disney was another one that did a split. Um, and then, then they had their woke initiative and lost half its value in a year and a half. But I'm just stating that Amazon had a 10-for-1 split, which has a psychological effect on investors.
I believe so as well. I think that's a great point, Mike. Um, I think that's one of the reasons why Amazon, because Amazon over the last 3 years, especially after the pandemic run up, a lot of the stocks, especially like you look at Nvidia, pretty much a majority of the other stocks, they had exponential. Exponential continuation run-ups above their pandemic highs. Amazon just didn't see that, and I think with the stock split and the buyback, Amazon has a lot of room to go from here. I think what we are seeing now within the candlestick patterns and within price action itself, uh, what we are seeing now is we are seeing a trend changing structure that's going to take place over the following weeks, where Amazon will now, instead of being in a downtrend, it finally broke its downtrend. It's about to regain the 200 SMA line here and trigger a major imbalance move, triggering a higher high structure above the recent highs here, and probably go all the way towards the 120s, and then if anything, come back down only to shoot up a lot. A lot further, and this can be seen on the weekly chart as well. Same chart pattern example that I showed you guys. You can see that there's clear hold above the structure, and as long as we hold, so anytime you see a reversal like that, right? How are you gonna play the following week? On the following week, as soon as the stock breaks the structure high of 105.73, that's when you're going to enter long for the stock to continue higher towards the next wick higher coming up, which is the 110.90 on the weekly, and then the next week, which is 113, and then 120, which is the major supply level. But Amazon has not retested its 200 SMA line for a very long while, and I think this stock is going to surprise many. If you look at the candlestick structure, right? What are we seeing here? We didn't get any of the reversal follow throughs here. In any of these reversals, we never got them. And then you come down here, you finally see, even right here, we had a massive bullish engulfing, right? But then we had a bearish shooting star reversal because the move just did not confirm with a follow through. Anytime you see a candlestick reversal, it's supposed to follow with a confirmation. However, when we had this bullish engulfing here, back in earlier this year, back in January, what did we say? That was 5 months ago, 4 months ago, you guys. We said that if we see a consolidation, even though we had a shooting star here, right? We were like, this time we're not going to be bearish because things are looking different. First, we retested a key demand zone, right? And this candle happened at a demand zone. So first of all, we said if price action just consolidates and gets back above 103, that's when we're going to be confident. And then what did we do once this candle happened, right? We took advantage and did a lot of the day trade calls, and even we did some long term as swing trades, and we took advantage of this move as Rogelio did. And now what are we seeing here? Again, we told ourselves after earnings that we were going to buy the dip on Amazon. What did we do? We bought the dip, but for some reason Amazon just fell below the 103.50 resistance, support, that was once resistance, now turned into support, and now had turned back into resistance, which we were not happy about. Once we saw it come back up, that's when we are now turning confidently bullish on it again, as we see a structure here with Amazon continuing to overwhelm the supply side, and demand taking over. And I think we're going to see 120 area very soon. So that's what I will be watching. Amazon should get some momentum. So what I'm trying to tell us, right? Anytime that we see any momentum come in the overall market, with the market continuing to go higher, right? We don't know what the hell no one is going to tell you what's going to happen within the coming weeks. They can't tell you that. We have been saying that we're going to consolidate for the coming months, and we have been saying to be very careful, especially with these with these short-term trades. And so far it has been doing exactly what we have been saying. But now we are telling you that this consolidation phase is coming to an end, and that there could be potential upside follow-throughs on such bottom feeders like Amazon. You can see the setup is just beautiful. I swear to you, the setup is beautiful. And I'm saying, if the market does continue to grind higher with, for example, let's say Apple and other very overextended stocks like Meta, Microsoft, not Apple. Apple could continue higher, but let's say Microsoft, Meta, and so forth, Nvidia start to pull back up, then rotation will go into stocks like Amazon and Tesla. And not only that, you could get rotation back into the small cap and the mid cap that have been so overbeat compared to tech. So you may see this weird rotation where the market will still hold up, but then you'll have, like, despite some bigger tech names coming back down that have been gaining so much, you're gonna see like other tech stocks like Amazon still get some sort of rotation higher. So that's going to be interesting to see in the coming months. So Amazon is one, Tesla is another, as we can see. Let's take a look at Tesla on the daily chart. We can see we have a nice breakout here on Tesla, and if we can hold this candle at least 50% on the retracement pullback, this is going to continue to push higher and higher and higher, and that we should watch it for potential upside opportunities to come from here. So. Keep in mind, if you understand from our narrative, what we are being careful on is some stocks are very, very overbought, such as Meta, Microsoft, and so forth, and we are seeing them as high probability short-term pullback plays, while we are seeing stocks like Tesla, Amazon, and maybe a couple of others that are seeing these opportunities to push higher. AMD is another one. AMD broke its downtrend, and I want to show you guys something with AMD. You guys see this head and shoulders right here, right? This head and shoulders that was taking place. We actually called out this head and shoulders on AMD. Let me see if I can find it. IWM, cost, Tesla, Nvidia, SPY. I think we did mention it somehow. I may have mentioned it in chat, but we did mention this head and shoulders with AMD basically coming back down, and us waiting for the gaps to be filled and so forth. And we finally got the gap filled at 80, and so far we have been seeing two very beautiful demand candles above the recent structure, and this can go a lot higher, you guys. It can go all the way back up to 98, especially with this news. I think this stock has so much upside potential. Look at the weekly, you guys. Remember what we talked about with the pullbacks that they get here every time? So you get a demand candle on AMD on the weekly chart, right? Demand candle followed by pullback, massive upside rally. Demand candle again, followed by pullback, massive demand candle upside rally. Followed by pullback again. You've seen a similar reversal, right? You guys see the reversals I'm talking about? The way they're closing the week, the preceding weeklies above the recent week. this is going to lead to major short squeeze to the upside, where we could get another massive demand candle over the coming weeks, and we want to keep an eye out for that on AMD. We can definitely retest 102 structure again, even 98 structure. So we're going to keep an eye out on AMD going into this week, especially above 90. Above 90, we are very bullish on AMD. So what are the stocks that we have talked about so far? I will post it on the weekly as well. We got what do we got so far? Let's see. We got Amazon, we got AMD, we got what else did we have, team? We have Tesla, and
I have Nike.
sorry.
Nike. I have Nike.
Oh,
I'm ho-
NKE, NKE.
Swing Nike.
Oh my God. I mean, look at this, Rogelio. Like, I don't want to jinx it for you guys. I wanna, I wanna let you guys play it out the way you guys are intending the trade. But just look at this for a second, man. You got, you got a beautiful inverse head and shoulders taking place on the weekly after the double top clearly played out, right? You have a nice regain of the 200 SMA line. Price action has been holding above. You had a massive demand candle from the short-term downtrend, or what is known as a counter trend that was taking place after the massive primary trend, right? What do you see next after this higher high structure above the recent highs over here? You've seen consolidation. Now you're seeing these 3 weeks consolidate above the demand candle here, and I think it is getting ready for some strong upside moves. So let's see how this one goes. I think we can
We're
head
holding,
towards
we're
135.
holding lots of your body, so we definitely have time, and not only time. I think the location is good, even if it pulls back slightly again. Just cause if it does it. But I think we're located good for a good pay in the next few weeks on
Yes,
Nike.
sir. Yes, sir. And another stock I want to add to our watch list is Visa, you guys. All right, we're watching Visa. So here's why we're watching Visa. Uh, Visa has been consolidating in this level, right? I mean, it almost looks like a nice cup and handle as well. The stock has been establishing. So we placed a low here, right, with the massive bullish demand candle that, or bullish engulfing candle that Rogelio said is his favorite, and I
Mhm.
second that. It is one of the most reliable candles. And ever since that, right, we have had a nice trend changing structure, breaking all of the lows over here, and you can even see the downtrends have been broken. Price is clearly in an uptrend, and we created a floor support here, right? A support floor at 224, and we placed a bullish hammer reversal with massive follow through candle, taking out the demand, the supply candle right there, and if we consolidate here, right? If we consolidate here, uh, and we get back above 230, 231, or I want to say this, if we get above 231 tomorrow, just know contracts 2 weeks out calls on V, right? The 232.50 call can really print once price action goes to 235 and really becomes aggressive to try and break that structure for a huge rally continuation for this massive imbalance rally that basically got cooled off here, digested, support held, and so forth. Volume is definitely coming in. The TTM squeeze fully fired its bearish momentum, and it looks like bulls are just easily taking out the massive supply candle, and you can't fight that. So going into tomorrow, once you see it get above 232.10, this is gonna run up higher towards 235.45, and I think this is gonna go much higher. So eyes on V as well, with contracts 2 weeks out for potential run ups.
I like that, by the way. I'm putting that on my watch list. It looks
Thank you,
nice.
sir. Yes, sir. IWM as well. IWM could finally get some love. And the reason why I say that is because I think regional stocks, the way that they reversed back up like 80% and so forth, I think this is a good. Remember, you guys, what we talked about when Tesla went down like negative like 2%, and then, or negative 6%, and then it came back up plus 2% at 104 close. And we said that this is where bears are going to get squeezed, and that Tesla was going to see major upside. Um, this is the thing here that we could see with IWM. Now that IWM is the Russell 2000, it's basically the small cap ETF. And there's a lot of there's a lot of regional caps, regional bank stocks also in IWM, which is why the stock, opposed to, let's say, the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, or even Nasdaq, is at such levels. Like if you look at QQQ, right, which is the same like a very similar ETF. A lot of times they're in sync and they're going up in sync together. But this year, the reason why the last 2 years has been such a chaotic mess is because you have these sectors, or you have these massive or major indices that are in these clear divergences. So this is a clear divergence. Like if you were an investor in the small cap, right, and you were expecting a rally because you thought that a bull market was coming, I'm sorry, I got bad news for you. You were screwed because the stock didn't even bother. But then if you were in the tech, in the tech weighted QQQ, then you did amazing because QQQ just had amazing returns. So we could be seeing IWM here, above 175, especially with this consolidation zone here. We could finally see it break above, come back up to 178.92, and this time, because this is consecutive repetitive retests at this level, we believe that the supply has died down and we're finally going to get a breakout above this level, with demand overwhelming supply, and we're finally going to get an imbalance move back up towards at least the 190s. That's if the market goes into this melt up phase and so forth. But I do think even if there was a fake out operation to 181, I think this is coming for the IWM. So I will be watching this ETF in particular. Um, this is all for me, team. This is about it. Is there anything that you'd like me to look at? Again, I really love Amazon, where Amazon is. So calls on Amazon can pay. Um, Amazon. What else we got? Tesla. We got AMD. And what else did we have? We have V also. What else did Roger talked about? One other stock that
Nike.
NKE. These are some of the stocks that we are watching, team. That will be all for me for now. I am
Me too.
happy to take questions. I, and yeah, Roger is also done, he said. I hope I
Yeah.
heard you right.
Yes. I'm just waiting for if anybody has any questions, but getting late. We don't want to overwhelm. I'm excited about tomorrow. Yeah. Monday's always exciting. See where the market's going to take us. Make some money.
Yes, sir. I'm honestly like so happy with our team. I thank you guys so much for for cooperating with the team. And I shouldn't even like, yes, it's a we're it's a cooperation because when you bring something that good that you see on your feed, right? Whether you're using Twitter, whatever the social you prefer, when you bring those hot stocks mentioned to our awareness, it's also going to benefit you because you're going to see us get in. How many times have we done that and we've actually made good profits? So I really hope I get to see more of that within our team. Lena, Easy. There are many of our traders that are Flower. I hope I'm saying the name right. Those users so far, part of our team are doing an amazing job sharing these really helpful information. And we can't forget White Zombie.
Yes.
And we really thank you guys for that.
Thank you, guys. And gals.
Again,
All right.
team. I guess that's all for me. Roger.
That's all for me too, buddy. Excited about tomorrow. Thank you for everything today. Looking forward to tomorrow morning.
Take care, team. We really appreciate you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, you guys. You have no idea what's coming. You have no idea what's coming. We're about to get a massive influx of information, and I think it's going to benefit everyone. You guys know that, like, for 17.99, like, doing the live sessions every day. Like, I looked at some groups out there, right? There was one called Team Bull Trading, that I remember that someone mentioned on our Facebook community. Um, because there was someone that talked about that talked about what are some good discords, and someone mentioned Team Bull Trading, and I looked at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, so you're telling me a month costs $200? Like, I'm telling you guys, I've seen the discords, you guys. It's nothing, it's nothing really above what you're getting in someone that's that has it I wouldn't say free. Actually, there are, I mean, I was doing it for free for 2 to 3 years, and I
Yeah,
was
me too.
providing, and even Roger, I mean, my gosh, like, when Roger invited me to his Discord, I was very impressed, and that's why I really urged Roger, to be part of our team.
And I really asked too. No, I really loved it. Yes.
Yes, thank you, man. This really means a lot because, I'm telling you, like, we are like peanut butter and jelly, man. When it comes to the market, and I'm learning because a lot of times, like, the things that I see from you, I love that you play these stocks because these stocks are so correlated with the market. And it keeps me in check in a way where, like, I'm picking up the slack. Like, I'm like, okay, if our team is playing this right, then I'm not going to overextend. I'm going to play slow, and I'm going to, like, wait for them to kind of, let's say, take profits, or do what they gotta do, and then from there I will observe to see if we have to kind of get a put, so I can bring that awareness to us, because there would be, let's say, some sort of pullback. So, it's so awesome, you guys. It's really so awesome because you got these admins that are, that aren't just trading like morons, where they're like, yes, guys, get in here, buy 5,000. No, like, one of our trader is doing this while the other trader is actually trying to see if there are any opportunities in the opposing side, and this can be handy. um um you know
Yeah, that's
uh
one of the things that I wanted to point out to the traders, that don't understand that. Just don't get into everything, especially if it's opposing, just watch first because we are two different traders and both of us have very high possibilities, but we're used to holding separate options. So that just takes time. We don't want you to get into a losing trade and don't know how to get out, or you don't know what, because you're just trying to every trade we send. So get comfortable with it first. Uh, Say our main goal, body's goal is, sorry, body to cut you off, is to for you to hold on to your. We wanna you to hold on to that next week, next month, next year. Consistent. That's how we want to be different from everyone else. Not just throw everything as an opportunity. Here, look at this. Maybe buy this price. You can get it on this and that. If you ask us questions, we're going to answer them. But our personal place that we're making money on ourselves. So we're not going to just throw it out there. Hundreds of them or dozens or whatever. Like other discourse that I've had, I've been into because I've had several of them, not just one. Still, I'm part of several that I run or that I am administrator on and a very good traders trade on. But my meaning is that we're not going to be like that. We're not going to throw everything to you just to see what catches, and then tell you you should have controlled your position and tell you it's your fault because we didn't get out or nothing like that. We're going to take responsibility for our own place because they're our own place. So want you to make sure not to get into everything and be overwhelmed because there will be enough time for you to use to it slowly, even if you're part time, and just follow one or two trades and make your money go on with your job, and know that you have an income coming in. Consistent income. That's what we want from you. That we want to offer. The others don't offer. Consistency in place, and taking responsibility for what we played ourselves. And knowing that other people can be following, for entertainment, their own our own place, and the things that we suggest that we're buying ourselves. So that's just wanted to mention that. Be patient. That's one of the very hard things to do when it comes to trading. being patient, especially if you don't understand, we're all over the place, people winning all the time. We love that, but you'll be there too. You know, some of the follow the advice of many helpful traders that are here that are very nice of themselves to help out with information and that you know that you know, it took them a week or 2 weeks for them to get used to it. They were just following, trying to learn about the Discord and things like that. You know, we just want you to know if you're new. I don't want, not that I don't want to, but it affects me. You know, I feel bad when I feel someone that lost because you know whatever reason, and I don't want that to be in my hands, and that's what I want to provide to you guys. Sorry, buddy.
Oh no, not at all, not at all, man. A matter of fact, I love all the advice you give, Rogelio. You're very, very psychological, and I love that because you're not, for example, you're not always, and we're not always supposed to be looking at, like, for example, Roger actually earlier said that he didn't get the chance to look at stocks because he was busy, and I was going to kind of jump in and just say, uh, matter of fact, that's perfectly fine. You didn't miss out on much because, a majority of stocks have already made their moves and things are already overbought. Uh, but there are certain particular stocks, and which he also mentioned. I mean, there's nothing that I mentioned that Roger didn't that didn't already mention, and that's why I'm saying, like, he
And
was already on board, and it was great.
that's why I think we're good, you know, because you explain the technical side of it, which is in my mind, you know, and I understand it completely, but you explain it very good, you know, with the terminology and everything like that. And I want to focus on the emotional side, on the risk management side, you know, on the technical side, of course, too. But you know, because that's what took me personally a very it seems if to me it felt like it was harder than the technical to me personally, even though the emotional and the risk management side, the strategy side, that was when I noticed that was another wall that needed to be climbed. But nobody told me about this. Jeez, I thought you had to be really good at technical. That was it. You know, you're gonna be making all that money. It's not. You know, there's another level to it, and that's really what I focus on because it's what I struggled on. And eventually, I realized that it had to do with basically position sizing and trusting your own and having a strategy that you have proved for several years. Because if you have a strategy that you know is good, but you still don't have the actual backup, you know, the actual time to tell you, you're still going to have that emotions because you really don't know for sure. You know, but knowing for sure, it helps you a lot. And having someone that has done it for years and actually knows for sure that it's worked for him can help you with yours. I get like you, buddy, really pumped.
Oh man, oh man, I'm so excited, and like honestly, even now I'm thinking in my head, like, I'm like, all right, so we got all the setups, we got, like, if for example, does all of our team understand that AMD has broken its downtrend, and that above 89 can get back above 90 and break out to the upside? If our teammates understand this, then that's really good because that's all we need to know going into this week. And I think we are doing, we did a fantastic job. We were in sync, and that's the reason we're having these live sessions, because we are putting all of our ideas together. And this is our third Sunday live session, weekly. So I'm really looking for the ones going into the future, going forward, because that's when our members are going to get comfortable, and they're going to also start bringing stuff to the table, which is just going to get so much fun. Matter of fact, some Sundays we might even, like, enjoy our time and have a drink or something. But I really can't wait, you guys. I hope you'll have a wonderful rest of the day, and take care, all. Enjoy the rest of Sunday.
Take care, everyone. Thank you, buddy. Good night.
Take care, Roger.